in this video I'm sharing with you some items that sell for me on eBay in hopes that you can find some similar items to sell in your area as well. But before I get started, I do want to introduce myself. My name is Celeste. I've been selling on eBay for several years. I actually started it as a hobby, part-time, and then I quit my job and started doing it full-time, and then I'm back to doing it part-time because of COVID and my daughter doing virtual learning. And I feel like a lot of you would benefit from seeing what others sell on eBay. So in this video, I'm sharing my August 2020 sales. In August, I worked part-time, like I mentioned earlier. My daughter started virtual learning, so that meant that I had to spend more time with her and helping her out and just family responsibilities. And so I set a goal to list about 200 items that month, and I felt like that was manageable, being that there were only 21 weekdays and I tried to work only weekdays. I ended up listing 181 items, which was still great. I ended up selling 182 items for a total gross of $4,045.79. Keep in mind that's gross. It's not, doesn't account for cost of goods and just fees. But last month I actually did not spend that much on inventory. I actually spent less than $400. I did spend a lot of time at garage sales and the bins, the Goodwill bins, mostly the Goodwill bins. So I'm not sharing all 182 items with you because we would be here for too long and you don't have time for that. But I am sharing with you the most, the uncommon items that I do sell. And I think that's more beneficial to you than me sharing with you the items that I sell the most of. Because although I will still talk about it, I feel like you hear about it all the time and I wouldn't be teaching you anything new. And my goal is for you to learn new things from me every time. And so I will quickly talk about the items that I do sell often, but I won't focus too much on that, okay? And so I do want to say that in August, the brand that I sold the most was Free People. I sold 20 items from Free People. When I pick up Free People, I'm a little bit more cautious about it now. I look up style numbers, and you can find it in the care instructions tag. It starts with an OB9 or OB something. And although it takes longer when shopping, I make sure that I do put that number in Google so that I know that how much that item is selling for exactly, because too many times I find too many Free People items and they're not selling for much, so it's not worth the time or effort. So when I did pick up these 20 items, I did make sure I did look them up. Unless I found them for very cheap, then I still will pick them up, but try to make sure that if I pick them up at regular thrift stores and I'm spending more money on them, that they're good quality pieces that will sell and fast. Okay, the second item was shocking to me. The second brand that sold the most last month was Nike. And I don't usually pick up Nike too much, but like I said, I did spend a lot of time at the bins last month, and so I did find a lot of Nike pieces that for a few cents or $1 I wasn't going to pass up. And so I ended up selling 14 Nike items. A lot were these Nike Pro Combat like the spandex shorts, and so they sold for way more than I thought. The third brand that also sold a lot was LULULEMON. I found skirts, I found tanks and pants. And then ATHLETA was another brand that I sell often as well. Again, like other brands, you want to look up style number, and good thing that ATHLETA has the style number on its tag, on the care instructions tag that you can look up. So I did spend a lot of time looking up those numbers to make sure that I was going to be profitable. Eileen Fisher was also in the top. I sold 7 pieces, but these items, although they made up the majority of the items that I did sell, I have other items that I don't find that often that I feel like you should learn about. So if you're interested, keep watching. So the first item that I sold, and by the way, I'm not going in any particular order, I just pulled them out randomly. And so the first item that I sold was this Grayson the Hero shirt. I actually found at a regular thrift store the previous month. I found it for $3 and I sold for $32. This actually, as I was flipping through the racks, I noticed that it was interesting and I had to look it up. The tag just looked of quality, and so I had to look it up, and when I was pleasantly surprised with it, it was enough for me to take home. The next item were these frame high skinny crop size 28 jeans that I got from the bins, and I placed up on an auction for 7 days starting at $19.99, and they sold for $21.50. So if I got them at the bins, I usually will spend about $1.39 per pound. So these were a little bit under a pound, so I might have spent like $1 on them, I would say. Next item that I sold was this J. Crew teepee sweater. It was actually new. I had purchased a few months back at a regular thrift store for about $8. And it sold for $35, okay? That one actually took longer than I thought to sell, and maybe because I listed it during the summer, but I was still happy to see it go at $35. The next was a Prana. The style was a Maya dress, and it was in a size medium that sold for $25. This I picked it up again the previous month for $5 at a thrift store. I usually don't find Prana too often, and I do like to pick it up almost all the time because it does pretty well for me. It does sell pretty well. So when I saw this at $5, I didn't even check sold comps, and I just went with my gut, and I'm glad I did. It sold for $25. The next was this torrid floral tunic blouse, a size 2X that I found at the bins. It was really light because it was sheer, so it was like probably 75 cents, and I sold through best offer for $25. It's actually new with tags too. The other item that I sold was, I don't pick up this brand too often. I'm very picky with this brand, and that is, I used to pronounce it Joey, but I guess it's pronounced Joa. And it was this lace top that looked like it could be a popular style. So I did look it up when I was at the store, at the thrift store, and it did look like it would sell for a pretty good amount of money. So I ended up selling it for $31.50 through best offer. The next was this Vince cashmere sweater that I found at a regular thrift store. I think it was like $2. It was so cheap. I was shocked because usually my thrift stores, they see cashmere now and they like price it really high, but this one was priced at like $2, and I didn't even look up comps because I knew it was Vince, it was cashmere. I did auction it off, starting price $29.99. I thought it would sell for more, but I was still happy to take $29.99 for it. It was a size medium, actually. Next, I don't find too often, but I'm happy when I do find this brand, and it's a Barefoot Dreams. This was like the style was a long cardi. It was like a short sleeve cardigan, and this I found at the bins, and I auctioned it. I like to auction these popular items that there are not a lot listed on eBay at the time, and plus when I auction things, I feel like they sell quickly. I get them out the door really quickly, and this one sold for $36, and I started it off at $25. You're gonna be so proud of me on this item because I went a little bit outside my comfort zone and my niche of clothing, and I found these Clorox Pool and Spa chlorinating tablets that were like, I think it was like 12 of them in one like huge bag that I found for like $3-4, and I knew that I can probably make money on those, so I looked them up and happy to take them home with me. I did sell 4 of them for $33.60 with free shipping. It did cost me, I sent them in a padded flat rate envelope, so it did cost me quite a bit, but I still made money, and I sold 4 of them, so I still have another 8 of them to sell. The next is Jamie Sadek. I used to pick it up all the time, but now I'm a little bit more careful when I pick it up. I don't pick up like the smaller sizes that are just basic. I try to pick up items that are like the crinkle do very well, that are like artsy, art to wear, a lot of design. Those do pretty well, and if they're larger size, they do well. This one I just found at the bins, so even though it was a size small, it was crinkled and it had a lot of design to it. And I think I started it at $15 and it sold for $19.50. So pretty good return on investment. I only paid about like 50 cents for it because it was really light. The other item that I sold, I found the previous month at a regular thrift store, and I got for $3, and it was this soft surroundings turtleneck that sold for $25. So that's usually my sweet spot, like buying it for $3, selling it for $20, for $25. That's what I like. The next item, I don't pick up this brand often, and I've said it before because not all items sell for good money, but I couldn't pass up these Sella Live-In high-rise leggings. They're high-rise, they do well, and I got them from the bins. So I only paid about less than $1 for, and they sold for $20. This next item was this Oshkosh vintage Sherpa-lined denim jacket that I sold for $30 that I found from the bins. I knew it was special because it was Sherpa lined, it was Oshkosh, it was vintage, and although it was a kid's, it still sells. It still did pretty well, so it still did bring me money. The next one was, I had never heard of this brand. I think I had previously seen it and probably skipped it, but it was just such a beautiful top. It was embroidered, it was linen, and it was just so nicely made that I knew I had to check it out. And so again, I took it home with me from a regular thrift store, and I paid about $6 for, but it sold for $45, which was awesome. Another Joa silk floral top. I don't pick up this brand so often, but when it's silk and it's floral and it's a larger size, I can't pass up on it. So I did list it for about $30, but I got an offer for $25 and I took it. I only paid about $3 at a regular thrift store for it. This next item was an Elizabeth James floral dress, like a skater dress that I've had for so long, maybe about a year. And I had it listed for $49.99 or best offer. I even sent out offers for like 50% to try to get rid of it. And nobody would take the bait. But somebody actually purchased it for a full asking price of $49.99. And I was happy to see it go. I was a little bit shocked. But I probably will not be picking up that brand anymore. The next item is Bryn Walker. I don't find this brand too often, but when I do, it brings pretty good money. And this one I actually found at a thrift store for $1. Nobody wanted it because it was faded, it was black. But I like to auction things off, and honestly I felt like I would not lose anything by trying it. It was a pretty big size. I think it was a 1X, I can't remember. But I auctioned it, and I can't remember at what price I started it at, but it ended up selling for $37.69. I was happy I took that risk. Here's a Ralph Lauren men's pearl snap like shirt that was printed like Western style, and so I knew to pick it up when I saw the style, the print at the bins. I started off for $19.99 and it sold for $20.50, so I was happy to turn about like less than $1 to $20.50. The next item is a Sweaty Betty hoodie that I had never heard of. I had never heard of this brand, but I picked it up actually a few months ago. And this brand, the hoodies seem to be selling for quite a bit of money, but for some reason I couldn't get mine sold. I did have it listed, I think a little bit higher, and I took an offer of $45 for it. I paid about $5 at a regular thrift store for it, so I was happy to see it go after several months. Here's a new brand to me. When I was flipping through the racks of a regular thrift store, I noticed the fabric of this. It was very soft, and It looked like a plain t-shirt, but I went with my gut and I had to look it up. Not sure how it's pronounced, so I'll put it up here. It's Noel Asman. It's a shirt, and I guess it's like a horseback riding brand. And so I found it for $1 at a regular thrift store on Dollar Day, and I sold it for $26.50. I put it up on an auction. I can't remember the starting price, but because there weren't many for sale of that style, I decided to auction it, and I'm glad I did. Here's an Adidas jumpsuit. I usually don't pick up Adidas because it doesn't have a really great resale value. It really doesn't, and items sit for so long. But this one I found at the bin, so I decided to take the risk. I started it really low. I think it was $9.99, but the style was popular, and it sold for $26, so I was pleasantly surprised with that. The next is this Pendleton black men's wool shirt that I found on Dollar Day for $1 that I sold for $43. Then this Cabela's goose down jacket, puffer jacket that I found at the bins, probably paid about $2 to $3 for, and I sold for $29.99 through auction. I have two more. These flax crop leggings that I found at the bins that I sold through auction for $20.50. And last but not least, this Sustain bodysuit that I found at a regular thrift store for $3, and I sold for $46.50. So that's all I have for you guys here today. I hope this video was really helpful for you today, and I hope that you learned something new. If so, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, bye bye.